Hi there, I'm Kristen, Doctor of Physical Therapy at Into Light Healing and Bodywork. As a knitter myself, I felt inspired to create this little home exercise program for knitters. This would also be a good flow for people who work sitting at a desk with computers, as we'll focus on strengthening the core for back support and stretching the wrists, hips, and back, which all get tight from sitting and doing the same thing over and over. So let's jump on the mat and we'll get started. Okay, we are starting in a comfortable seated position, whether that is on the mat for you or on a chair or the couch. And we're just going to start with a little wrist and hand massage. So just giving yourself a little attention to the hands, the fingers, the wrists, maybe even the forearms. And just a little squeeze here and there if you're not comfortable with or used to giving yourself a little hand massage. I mean, really, you just gotta press one hand into the skin, the thumb, and then move it a little bit, and it'll feel good as you get used to it. And it's kind of nice to give yourself that little bit of attention. You know exactly the right pressure that works best for you. If you find a spot that's particularly sore, go ahead and hold it there. Sometimes that eases while we hold it, and sometimes it doesn't. And then we're going to incorporate a little bit of wrist stretching. So let's take the fingers and bend them back, stretching the elbow straight, reaching that wrist forward, only to an intensity that feels comfortable for you. So like even a 50% stretch, it still is stretching without hurting. And that's important. We definitely don't want to injure ourselves because we love knitting, right? All right, and then we're going to do the same with the other side. Notice how you can feel a difference at the different angles of the elbow. And then let's go ahead and just reach our hands forward, palms to me please, and then we're going to flip the fingers, point them down towards the ground, stretching the back of the wrists, reaching those forward as we reach the fingertips down towards the ground. Check in with your posture here. So are both sit bones evenly on the surface? Are you slightly engaging your abdominals, scooping that belly button in and up towards the rib cage? Are the low ribs knit together? Are your shoulder blades down your back? And then let's flip, palms to me. Is your head pulled back, ears retracted over the shoulders? Kind of creates a little bit of a double chin, real flattering. Stretch the fingers and then bring it in. All right, next we're going to get into sitting on our sit bones here and legs in line with the long edge of the mat. We're going to start here on those sit bones, and then we're going to scoop the belly button in and up, and then keeping a nice long spine, we will lean back, spine goes back, until you feel those abdominal muscles engage. So it might not be very far, and that's okay, or you might be like down on the ground. So just find where you're at today and be okay with that. We're just going to hold that for a moment. And the invitation here is to either have the hands underneath the thighs or reaching along, or hands at the heart center here in prayer. There's also a challenge to keep feet on the ground, or you can lift them up so that your shins come parallel to the ground, and then any of the variations of the hand positions. I think I like this one right now. The most important thing is that we continue to keep the spine long. So we're really lengthening the tailbone and the crown of the head in the opposite directions here. This should take a little bit of work. It's a little bit of effort to be here. And then we're going to lower down bringing the feet flat onto the mat, we're going to take our palms and turn them up towards the ceiling. After a moment of rest here, we're going to lean back again, and then we're going to turn the torso to the right, reach the hands forward, bring it back in. Turn the torso to the left, reach the hands forward, bring it back in. Turn to the right, reach, bring it back, turn, reach. And we'll just continue to flow these with your breath if that's available to you. Breathing in as you come back to center and breathing out as you reach to the side. Remembering that nice long spine. And last one over here, even it up, and then we'll lengthen the spine up towards the ceiling, coming back into a seated position. We're going to cross the ankles here, and if this is available to you, we'll just kind of roll our bodies over the legs and come into all fours on hands and knees here. Now if your wrists feel like they need a little more stretching, there's an option for us here to turn the fingers out to the sides and then point them back towards our knees. So if that's available to you, feel free to use it. It's a pretty intense stretch, and I don't recommend being in it for a very long time. But if you'd like to flow through a couple of these in this position, sometimes it feels kind of nice. So we'll next pull the belly button in and up as we breathe out. Tuck the tailbone under, lift the back up towards the ceiling. Head relaxes down, neck relaxes. Inhale, we're going to stick the tailbone back, letting the belly reach towards the floor, shoulder blades down the back, lifting the chest and then the head to look forward. Exhaling, tuck the tailbone under, back lifts up towards the ceiling. Head relaxes. At any time you want to turn your wrists, feel free to do so. Continuing to flow with your breath, tucking the tailbone as you exhale, reaching the back towards the ceiling, and then pointing it away from you and letting the back arch as you breathe in. Back goes up to the ceiling with a breathing out. And then belly comes down with a breathing in. And then we're going to come to a neutral position here. With the stomach nice and tight, pull that belly button in and up. We're going to shift the weight over to the left hand and the left knee. And we're going to bring the right foot up in between the hands. From here, we're going to lift the back knee, the left knee, and maybe even wiggle those toes so that the leg extends a little bit further backwards. And this is to get a nice stretch through that left groin. Maybe be here a moment. You can be on your fists if wrists are a little bit tender. And then I'm going to bring it up a little bit and engage the abdominal muscles. We're going to lift up into this little lunge here, bringing the torso over top of the pelvis. We want about a 90-degree angle in the right knee, or a little bit less than 90 degrees. Just make sure that that right knee is right over top of that right ankle. And we want the pelvis to be kind of in line with the front of the mat. Really feel the stretch now through that left groin. Pull the right sit bone towards the left inner thigh. That helps to get that parallel line between the pelvis and the front of the front of the mat. And then let's go ahead and bring our hands at heart center here. And I invite you now to kind of get creative. and not fall over maybe, but if you have to, that's all right. So let's just maybe do some shoulder rolls here. Bringing the shoulder blades come up towards the ears, squeeze together behind, and then push them down the back. Repeating that a little bit, or maybe getting really crazy and stretching the arms out and back. Kind of the same motion, but with a little bit more drama. Really opening the chest here. Or you could do like a swimmer, one at a time. Both together. Thighs should be burning, or maybe not, maybe you're super strong. And then we're going to bring hands both forward. We're going to bring them down on either side of the right foot. Let's lift off of the right foot and bring it back to meet the left into this push-up position, and then keeping the bend in the elbow points going backwards. We're going to lower the body down. Feel free to use your knees if you need to. We're going to lower the upper body down, and then with an inhale we'll lift up using the muscles of the low back. If you want a little extra stretch for the low back here, scoop the belly button in and up. Really try to keep those low ribs knit together, and then press into the hands to lift the upper body up and create like a little bit of a traction through the low back. Let that kind of hang and relax a little bit. Relax the neck, maybe even inviting a little bit of a neck roll in here. And then when you're ready, we're going to lower all the way down. Press up again into a push-up position, and then onto all fours. Bring the left foot up by putting weight on the right hand and the right knee. And then left foot's in between the hands. We're going to pause for a little stretch here in the right groin, kind of get the body ready for what we're going to do next. As we stand, we're going to want to keep that left knee right over top of the left ankle. Right toes are tucked down, and then we're going to lift the right knee. And then when you're ready, come all the way up. Up to you if you want to engage your abdominals to reach forward and up, or if you want to put your hands on your thighs and walk yourself up. Either way is absolutely great. So then we come all the way up with the shoulders stacked over the pelvis, and the front knee is right over that front ankle. We want to pull that left sit bone towards the right inner thigh. Kind of pulling that back helps to create that parallel line with the front of the mat. Try not to let the front knee collapse inward towards the arch of the foot. Breathe like you mean it. And then we're going to either bring hands to prayer or repeat a little arm flow. So we'll either do the shoulder rolls or the swims, catching yourself when you need to, open into a star stretch, maybe even neck rolls here if your balance is up for a challenge. And then when you're ready, let's bring our arms all the way back down on either side of the foot and lower onto the knees and come into a seated position. So we'll start with the left foot lined up right inside of the right inner thigh, and bring the right hand to the right shin. We're going to do thumb up towards the ceiling, toes up towards the ceiling. Nice long spine here. If you need to remove some of the flesh from underneath your sit bones, feel free to do so now. Or if you need a yoga block or any kind of pillow or anything like that will give you a little bit of a lift to lift the pelvis. It helps to open up the groin a little bit there. So what we're going to do is reach that left arm to the left, inhale it up, and then as we exhale, we're going to side bend the body over that right leg. Try keeping the torso, the rib cage rotated towards the left so that we're keeping that nice and open and not collapsing in towards the leg. Retract the head here, keep the chin tucked towards the throat. Option 2, turn the head to look at the armpit, and that will help to strengthen the neck a little bit more. You know, we're looking down at our projects a lot. And feel the nice stretch through so many different areas in the body. And then we'll inhale, reach back up towards the ceiling with that left hand. And then we're going to switch sides. Right foot comes in, left leg is long. The pinky side of the left hand is on the shin. Right hand reaches towards the right, spine nice and long. And then as we inhale, arm comes up and we side bend over that left leg, reaching towards the foot. It's okay if it never gets there. Noticing if the same or different areas of your body are feeling a stretch on this side. Invitation to tuck the chin towards the throat and look at the armpit. Strengthen the neck while we're working here. Breathe and find space. And then on the next inhale, let's reach up towards the ceiling and relax the arm down. Left knee bends. We find ourselves in a cross-legged position. All right, so shoulder blades go down the back, spine is nice and long. I don't think I like that very much right now. I'm gonna put my heels in a line. That feels a little bit more comfortable. So whatever you need to do to make an adjustment so that your body feels comfortable with this practice, go ahead and do it. It's your practice. We're going to bring the right hand to the left knee. Left hand goes behind. We're not really putting weight behind, just stabilizing. So lengthen the spine with the inhale, and with the exhale, start the twist to the left, using your low abdominal muscles to rotate the chest towards the left. I can take my hands away and not change my twist. We're not cranking on the body here. Invitation to maybe even look over the left shoulder. And then when you feel ready, releasing. And then the left hand goes to the right knee, right hand behind. Inhaling first, reaching up nice and long spine, and then engaging the abdominals to twist from the pelvis. Once again, lifting the hands to check your twist, to make sure you're not over forcing the stretch, overstretching. Invitation to look over the right shoulder. And then after a few breaths there, we'll come back to center and just do some wrist rolls. So let's clasp our fingers together, clasp our hands, and then just kind of turn them around in circles, or that infinity symbol, or, you know, just kind of figure out some movement that feels kind of nice to stretch out those wrists. And I invite us here to reflect on our craft. Think about just the awesomeness of being able to create something from string. It's pretty cool. And it brings to my mind a verse from Psalms in the Bible. It's Psalm 139, verses 13 and 14. You formed me in my inmost being. You knit me in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my very self, you know. And as we think about our craft and how we create things, I think that we can appreciate this passage and all the attention and the love and correction. If you're like me at all, maybe you're a great knitter, goes into each project that we create. It's just such a small example of how much love and attention our Heavenly Father has for us to create our beings piece by piece, so intricate and wonderfully working. You can be assured that your Creator knows you and loves you. And finding stillness if you haven't already, but continuing the attention to your posture, the elongation of the spine, try to keep this muscle activation as you move into your day or move on to your next project. Supporting your tissues. The light and spirit in me honors and appreciates the light and spirit in you. Let peace be with you.